So China has called for restraint in Ukraine and rejects the term invasion. So China doesn't accept that what Russia is doing is an invasion. China called for restraint on all sides after Russian President Putin ordered an attack on Ukraine, while saying the military operation should not be described as a quote-unquote invasion. China is closely watching the latest situation, and we call on all parties to maintain restraint and prevent the situation from getting out of control, the Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Shuniyang said at a regular press briefing, where she was repeatedly asked if Beijing condemned the actions. Criticized the West for new sanctions after Russia ordered troops into 2 breakaway Ukrainian regions, and that it recognizes as independent. And here, the Ukraine issue has a very complicated historical background and was the result of various factors. China has blamed the United States and its Western allies in recent weeks for hyping up the crisis, with Hua saying at an earlier briefing on Wednesday that the U.S. was adding fuel to the fire. The Chinese embassy in Ukraine warned its citizens to be alert for severe disturbances and to stay home as much as possible. China rejects the term invasion. It doesn't think that what Russia is doing in Ukraine is an invasion. What does that tell you? Of course, if you put on mainstream media or some independent progressives who have their, can't tell their fucking ass from their elbow in international politics, they would tell you, the typical communists, like a bunch of repressive regimes ganging up on Ukraine together. Yeah, okay, that's like a fucking 5-year-old analysis. Well done. Here's a medal, you fucking mope. What this means is it's a further indication of the multipolar world that we're entering in, okay? China, again, has a permanent seat on the UN Security Council, as does Russia. This means that if there are any actions against Russia in the UN, of course, Russia itself could also veto, but this means it has China's back. China has its back as well. And you have to remember that when we're talking about gas, for example, with Russia giving 40% of Europe's gas, and you're already seeing headlines of fear-mongering about whether Russia will turn off the valves, right, and prevent Europe from receiving gas, apart from Nord Stream 2. Well, the thing is that the Russians also have closer ties with the Chinese now, right? They have their own pipeline going that way. China has its Belt and Road Initiative, and these are 2 very strong economies. And so what you're seeing here is not China refusing to get involved and trying to toe like a more, objective or neutral, or let's say an unbiased position. No, it's actually siding with Russia. And that's very important because you're seeing the European countries, the United States and NATO, they're impotent. They can't do anything. And this is very significant. We're not in 1990 anymore. We are in 2022. And all of this imperialist shit that the West has been doing is going to bite it in the ass. And this is one of those events. And unfortunately, it's the people in Ukraine who are caught in the middle. Although, again, Russia is also, it's been encircled by NATO bases. You cannot seriously say that they have also not been, that an affront hasn't been committed against them, right? That this isn't an affront on them when you are threatening their security.